The argument over Poland and the Holocaust is back. Years after the controversial Holocaust law passed the Polish parliament and was signed by Poland's president, back into the headlines is this fraught issue of Holocaust memory and Poland's record in the Holocaust. Two incidents just over the course of the last week. First of all, Yad Vashem, the Israeli Holocaust Memorial Museum, putting out a seemingly innocuous tweet saying that Poland was the first country in which Jews had to wear a distinctive badge. That got a very, very quick slapdown from the Polish government, which demanded a clarification. Why? Because its clarification was that Poland was German-occupied during the Holocaust, and there shouldn't be any implication that it was the Polish government that ordered Jews to put on the badges. Yad Vashem then puts up that clarification, but that didn't satisfy Poland's foreign minister, who went so far as to summon the Israeli ambassador in Warsaw over the incident. And a second incident, the U.S. ambassador in Poland, playing to the home crowd, if you will, basically goes out and says that it's a blood libel to suggest that Poland was responsible for the Holocaust. And that generated also its share of replies in the Jewish world, of some saying, not so fast, has the ambassador gone too far? This issue of Poles and the Holocaust is an extremely sensitive one in Poland. I know myself from covering this issue a number of years ago. So what are the facts? Well, there's actually more agreement than I think people often recognize. On one hand, Poland was occupied by Nazi Germany throughout the Second World War. It was not Poland that decided to build Auschwitz. It was Nazi Germany and its local occupation government in Poland that did so. In terms of also laws that were promulgated against Jews, as the Polish government rightly mentioned, those were not laws passed by a Polish government, which in any case was in exile in London, but instead by the Nazi authorities themselves. On the other hand, all sides recognized that there were individual Poles who were complicit and who participated in the crimes of the Holocaust, who worked at Auschwitz, who murdered Jews, who cooperated with the Nazi Germans. At the individual level, of course, a country as large as Poland is going to have some who participate in the crimes, and that is agreed. So what's the disagreement? Well, what to do about the nebulous idea of the Polish nation? Is the Polish nation or Polish people responsible for the Holocaust? It's hard even to answer the questions. We don't have polls to go by during those years about how it is that Poles felt about what was going on around them. There are a significant number of Poles who have been named by Yad Vashem as righteous among the nations, the largest of any country in occupied Europe. And on the other hand, of course, there are many Poles who are part and took part in the Holocaust and were part of committing its crimes. But how to account for the vast majority of the Polish public that was simply struggling to survive in a very, very difficult situation, being under occupation in what was often a war zone over the course of the Second World War? Almost an unanswerable question, but an extremely important one for Poland and for people throughout the Jewish world. At any rate, this is an issue that's not going away, a highly charged issue both in Poland and in the Jewish world, because Poland, of course, was a country demographically that it was at the heart of Ashkenazi Jewish Europe, with 3 million Jews living in interwar Poland on the eve of the Holocaust. So again, an issue that's not going away, that is often spilled over from the realms of academia and society into politics itself, as we've seen over the course of the last week, and a discussion that will certainly go on for years to come.